the matter with my mind? Moving mountains from my past. Part the oceans when I walk. See the future in my past. I'm ignited, I'm enlightened. Lost my fears and found me. Felt connections, held the heavens. I was blind and now I see. I'm feeling infinite, I feel invincible. I surpass my potential. Ain't no resisting and only surrender and turn my trials into temples. Out from disparity into the clarity, elevating at a Mach speed. I see no ending, becoming unlimited. Good luck trying to stop me, cause I'm feeling godly. I'm feeling godly. I'm feeling godly. I can't explain it. Feeling like something inside me, like nothing can stop me. I'm feeling godly.
Yeah, okay, so the first take of this video, I decided I should probably do the shout out at the end. So I'm gonna do the shout out at the end. But I want to keep this video particularly kind of light on the spiritual concepts, but also I kind of want to go in at some point. So for the beginning, since a lot of you tuned into the beginning, I'm gonna give this straight for y'all. And I'm gonna give it raw, and I'm gonna give it the realest, like I said in my Miyamoto Musashi video. What I want to say is, if you're up into this point, man, I say go back, watch all these videos in order, watch all my LUNARWASLOST treasures in order to see over the years, like my awakening process and the things I've realized to get to this. Because I'm in a Zen state of mind most of the time. I really don't have any thoughts. I really have like a blank mind that's free flowing. And the reason I say that is because when I go to talk about certain things that I've grown through and experienced, I don't want it to make it seem like I haven't healed from these experiences, which is so crazy because in a certain song that I listened to that I'm going to give a shout out at the end of the video this time is, I love a bar that my man said, the God B.O.B. said, where it said, you know my traumas, but that does not mean you know me. I'm very open on the channel about the things I've went through in my traumas. But, you know, and and funny enough, I haven't even gotten backlash really, or any like, you know, I would say like people coming for me online for certain things that I talk about. It's the personal people around me that have, and that's awakening for you. And I'm gonna keep it light on the spiritual concepts, but that is a part of awakening, man. That is the Christ consciousness. That's what it is. Like Jesus, bro, like I love that I read the Bible recently, and my cousin even said her dad told her, yo, like you should read the Bible because a lot of Jesus's story is the things that you've went through. And I realized, yo, like, bro, in that video that I did where I put Muji talking about all the, you know, every Buddha, every Muhammad, every Christ, every Krishna went through the same thing. When you awaken, people will come for you, and that is just the path. They will come for you. It's like your life will fall apart. The true awakening path will tear your life apart. And I want to say that, and that is also on the topic of being you, because you should, man. You should let it tear your life apart and hold no grudge or feeling towards anyone that falls off during your path, because the thing is you're realizing what the world truly is. And that is coming into truly unconditional love, being in this state of mind where you're not attached to anything. Like I just talked about my Miyamoto Musashi video where he said, do not be attached to the things of this world. Man, every religious text, everything, you can find it. There are comparisons and things you can draw and connections you can draw in every single piece of religious, spiritual text. It is do not conform to the world. And when you don't, man, this system has a way of absolutely reading that, absolutely pinpoint marking you as someone that became aware of how ancient they actually are. And to move off of the spiritual stuff for a second, be you and be authentically you. And that's why I like saying that in the beginning of my videos now. And to the ones who really need to hear this, you're really going to perceive me. You're really going to be seeing me right now. And I'm just passionate about what I'm talking about right now. Don't think I'm getting, upset or anything, because I absolutely love everything I went through. I absolutely do love it, because it was putting me to the test if I embodied everything that I said I did. I love it. And I think I said this to someone, and I don't even think they picked it up at the time, but maybe they did, that I love that I went through my test, because I didn't want to be another commercial spiritual person online. So it's just getting a part of the language in the new lingo and delivering this stuff to y'all. Like, no, I've talked to people who claim to be awakened or on this whole self-improvement journey and everything, and you'll say one thing to them that's out of the alignment of their programming, and they will get offended. And that's why I said, nah, I'm here for the real journey. I want it raw. I want to lose the people. I want people to call me strange. Like, that is the divine mind, man. You program your reality, bro. You are in control of your destiny. We don't let destiny control us. I remember a bar in a song that a God dropped, and he said, does God believe in us, or do we believe in God, or does God believe in us? I love that bar from that song, because it's so true. You know, all this stuff about the kingdom of heaven being within you, you will feel blissed out, man. I've sent messages to certain people who are close to me that I'm just like, yo, I'm in this state, and I want y'all to experience it too, man. And that's what all my videos are about. When I get deep into this stuff, I can't even control not talking about spirit, because I just see spirit in everything, man. It's like, respect the spirit first. This world was an effect of a divine mind. Like, that's all it is. All the lower concepts and stuff we took on down here. And I'm getting a little bit back into it, but this is why I say be you, man, because as long as you're not stepping on anybody else's path, it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter how cringe you are or how not. There used to be a time where cringe didn't exist. When you weren't born, when you were like, think about that. When you were born, you were conditioned by the world. Like, you were brought up in an environment where you either take on the environment, or your personality is shaped by the environment, but it's vice versa. You know, inward is outward and outward is in. It's just like that. It's like, if it's not the friends or the peers around you making you, then it's you making your own you based on what you see around you. But then that whole shedding process comes back. There were no words before you were born. So that's why I say I commend those who go out and do what people call cringe or act weird in public, because we're not even in a real world. And then when some people see like the state of the world and how it's, they want to say it's going down, it's burning. I even hear spiritual and awakened people talk about, look at the state of the world and this, and it's like, yeah, you can still be up to date and aware with what's going on, but take the fear out of it. If you're real about this, you're the one that controls your destiny. You're the one, man. In the holographic universe, I'll give you guys the receipts for this. You read the receipts. Michael Talbot dropped a story in there of a Holocaust survivor who he literally said he survived based on his mindset to his peers around him. He just loved the experience and kept his mind elevated. And I'm getting shivers and heat in my heart when I'm saying this, because you're the one dictating it. I don't care what anybody says. If I can take the things I've gone through in the past months from particularly people who I would think, damn, that may have been an agent, but still I don't feel any judgment, because I really didn't. When I tell this story, I love this because I had a talk with a lovely brother in this game called Tone, who he wanted me to share my story on a Zoom call one night, and I gave everyone context, and the reactions they had were like exactly what I would expect. And even from that night that I told the story, that reactions were all over the place. And then that's when I realized, oh wow, there really is a divine mind to this. So I want to tell y'all, if you think you're going through like some sort, not like going through stuff, but I mean, like, if you think you've got like people who are preying on your downfall, well, listen to me. Take it from me, who's someone who switched that mindset, just like the guy in the Holocaust. Though I'm not taking away from that experience. I don't know if I would have had the mindset to make it through that, but through the challenges I've been given to myself, based on how I move, I've proven to myself that the law of attraction is real. So, you know, I had to be really mindful that sometimes we attract certain people to just be like, my cousin tried to tell me very early on in my journey, or in part of my journey, that we attract certain people in our life to be a light, a beacon of light, or a guide for them. And there also could be the people that, you know, sometimes want to take that light or whatever, right? And I still even struggle with some of these concepts to this day that I don't want to believe, right, for myself. But I'm kind of trying to build up the backstory. This is why I tell you guys to go watch my go watch like Lunar's Lost Treasures and stuff to explain this. But I truly understand it now, and I really do feel like no one can take my light, no matter if they are there to just try to siphon a little bit of it or stay close to you. But listen to this story. So I was told to tell this story in a Zoom call, and this is why I tell you to be you. And I don't mean anything about this person or anyone and anyone that I've ever been next to in my journey or whatever in my life. But this is why I give y'all this. I'm delivering this to y'all now, because you need to understand that it is your mindset and no one can take your peace from you. You got to find that inner God within you. You really have to discover it, because there's people, I've met so many people just running around saying it, and it's okay because it's all part of the journey. But that's how you know only certain people are really going to unlock their true and authentic self where nothing can bother them. So in the Zoom call, I was told to give a story about what that night I was talking about. If you guys don't know, I'm going to give some context. Now a lot more happened with this person, but I got pepper sprayed by my ex. And the thing is I knew I was walking into a trap, and it was on my birthday. And when I went to talk about this story, there was a woman who was confused about a story about Judas and Jesus. Why did Jesus still eat with Judas, knowing that Judas was going to betray him, or whatever the story is? I'm not religious. I don't know the full story, but this is why I say all these stories are literally just stories of us. All this knowledge in books is stories of us. And that's why I say, just go and be you. But to pull it back to the point, because that's me, I'm chaotic with it. Jesus knew that Judas would betray him and all of that behind there, and betrayed him with a kiss and all that. He still did it because if you're of Christ consciousness, or you're truly awakening. My man said that he was the Son of God. He was one with it. He was performing miracles. The same, if you were around me, you see things that I've done where I've helped people learn how to manifest and show them how to do their minds. So this story of Jesus, or the Christ consciousness, is literally us running around here who are doing these things, who are literally excommunicated from their family at times. Man, when I awakened my gifts to predict things in the future to come, and then these things would actually happen, I got called the devil. And that's why I say be you, man. Even if you're awakened or not awakened and you're watching this, I'm telling you that. But that story with Jesus and Judas is so true. I knew what was going to happen that night, but because I have an empty, my heart is lighter than a feather, my mind is empty, I went through with it. I got invited out to the car to talk. I knew it wasn't just going to be a talk. I knew it wasn't going to be just a talk. And I turned my back and everything, knowing this was about to happen to me. Turned my back and everything as I went up to my apartment and unlocked the door. Pepper spray, boom. I knew. And the thing is that, because that's what it is. That's what comes with the Christ consciousness. It's the crucifixion, man. And what's funny is I dropped a video on my channel saying that I realized everything I went through was my version of getting crucified. And that's why I just say, your true self is worth the crucifixion. I'm going to say it right now. It's worth it. Be you. Be you, because it doesn't... I like to use that example because it was only a few months ago. It was my 24th birthday. That is going to be a huge memory, that it was such a pivotal learning experience and everything for me that answered so many questions. I was like, holy shit, I'm about what I talk about. I'm fully about it. People talk about detachment. That was detachment. I didn't have to read that in a book. I became the book. I became the parable. I became the story. I became Jesus. I became it. If people want to, walk around God protects me in this, well, I wonder how many, actually rep that when push comes to shove, because that's when the divide is going to come. Who is really embodying all of this? And I remember a brother saying there's going to come a time, he was talking about it, where they're going to come for you and they're going to come for me. And it goes back to Muji. And I think about that. And that's why I say be you, because it doesn't matter if you're being you and you're being authentic to you, to who you are, to who you know. In essence, this realm can't touch you, bro. No one can touch you. You're always going to win. You have to see it like that. You always win. You don't miss. You can't miss. You don't miss. You cannot miss. We don't miss. Our words are power. They speak spells. We write our destiny. You can't miss. Look, I'm still here today posting videos, still doing this because it's just me, but I don't miss. I'm here. Nothing is going to break me. I'm wearing essence, and I want y'all to wear it too. That's why I make these videos and still go at it, because only if there's one view on a video and one person gets it, that's who's meant to hear it. That's who's meant to hear it. And if you've made it this far in the video, I freaking love you, because that's the thing, man. That's what this is all about. It's unconditional love. You're searching for yourself. And I really think that with me, like in that moment, it was myself. And I almost got tears right now saying this, because I held myself in that moment. I just felt like, okay, if the word, like if I'm just, I almost had this question in my head. And because as everything happened, not even 1,000 questions ran in my head. It was completely blank when I got pepper sprayed. And I'm telling y'all, there was a bigger event before the pepper spray, and that the pepper spray isn't even the big bomb context drop of what happened. If you're paying attention to my videos, then you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, what I just wanted to say is just that, look at, like, you just, nah, bro, like, we're gods. We're bigger than this realm. We're bigger than this realm. And I know I said I'm gonna try to stay away from the spiritual concepts, but I can't. We are one with source. But the difference of what that is gonna mean is who's just saying that and who's embodying that. Look for the embodiment in the people. It doesn't matter how many followers you got. It doesn't matter how many, that all of that stuff is like superficial. Pay attention to the success and how somebody moves within their frame and their mental health. Because honestly, the mental health is the direct connection to that. And I would say that 100%. Watch how someone moves. I've been asked, how do I get over losing certain things? Like, I was asked by a past person, bro, you lost $20,000 almost. How are you just okay with that? And I'm like, bro, because I'm bigger than this world and I know it'll come back. And bigger than this world is not narcissistic. I'm above anyone. It's like I'm bigger than what this narrative wrote. And I was telling a lovely soul, I was telling her the other night that, look, if you even look at my story, it's like my awakening happened off of a being, right? Lower self and higher self. My lower self is so cunning because my lower self already wasn't materialistic and never, like, I saw celebrities and everything as my equals, because I'm just like, bro, we're all the same. Like, all these terms were created. I even tried to explain these stories on this Zoom call one night. I felt like certain people weren't completely grasping what I was saying. There's no judgment, but the point is like, we've created terms that put people automatically on pedestals above us, that have people look above you when we're all the same in essence. And I was like, no, I'm not for this system. I was saying that before my awakening. So then when my whole awakening hit, it hit like a bomb, like a nuclear bomb, and just all the connections I ended up making through my awakening, it landed like a bomb. And that's why I deliver this to y'all now, because I'm like, dude, it's so beautiful when you realize you're everything you need. This world could not give you everything. That's why it's like, when you see Carl Jung, or, man, let's throw so many greats out there. I mean, like, just name them, just drop them. What, Neville Goddard, or like the Krishna, Muhammad, the prophets, the Bibles, the Joe Dispenzas, the this, the that, the Aaron Dowdys, the everyone. It's like, we're all the same in essence. It's you. Like, when you go within your inner city and you unlock that book, the KRS-One knowledge that they have of self and everything awakens in you, and you'll see it. And then we'll get a realm of the people who, like, the people will see your light. People will see your light. And I'm telling you, it's such a contrast, man. I've met some people who were like some people don't even want to be around me. Like, the light just boop. Then I'll have some people be like, you, you're so powerful. You're so this. I just look at them and I go, you too. You don't even know. You don't even know. Don't praise me, praise yourself. Because that's what it is about. That is the unconditional love. It's ultimately you at the end of the day. There's so many nights I wake up and realize that it really is just kind of like one of us here in a sense. But I love it, dude. Your words are truly spells, And this shit is about destiny. Like, I gotta be real. It might sound dramatic, but that's why all these animes get people hyped. That's why all these movies get people hyped. That's why Divergent, these dystopian realities and everything, people get so invested in, is because like we're living through one. And not only that, like when you look at the animes and you look at all these things that inspire you, it's always with the like people going through this soul changing, altering just journey, like not even soul altering, but getting back to the true essence of the soul. I'm telling you, when you're at your lowest moment, for real, that is when your superpower activates, because I had to break. You have to break the self that has all these expectations from the external, from others, from mom, from dad, from professors, from work, from your boss, you break that down, man. You break that down and you really start to go within, and the shifts happen. The shifts start. And I don't even know if I did this video justice, because I said I wasn't going to get too into the spiritual concepts, but I just can't remove it, man. It's all like the spiritual concepts and stuff, because you're spirit. Like, you have to understand this. We're not human beings that are all of a sudden having a human experience. We're multi-dimensional beings having a human experience. You were spirit and everything was energy. That's why Neville Goddard and these people before their time were sitting here telling y'all the world was an illusion, and the world, like Carl Jung and all of this, and why they're so ancient. And it just seems like things are repeating itself, because energy has always been energy. It didn't just start being energy all of a sudden when there was a paradigm shift and now you got no, it's always been energy. So remember that. And that's what I came to tell you. And just be powerful and be in your own frame and love yourself, because no one is really going to love you like you love yourself. But what you're going to find, which is very, very lovely, is when you truly love yourself and you truly love that essence and you go within. And I'm talking about not the self attached to this world, the self before this world, the ancient self. Everything ends up working out. It really does, dude. I found myself, like, I can tell you, I found myself scramming, like, oh, dude, I can't stress this enough. I found myself in positions where, oh, man. Y'all listen, I've like, I laugh because I seen this one meme where I seen a meme. Nah, let me not bring up the meme. But just know I've had everything in the book said to me, man. I've had devil, I've had crazy. I've heard people tell me I'm pandering, which is why I can't wait to give a shout out to Space Time from B.O.B, because he even said it in his album. I love it. He said it in his album, bro. And that's why I respect him so much for everything he's done for me in my journey. Because it honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you. It was like validation that I didn't need. It was just like, dude, okay, so I'm not going crazy because I'm experiencing all these off of awakening. Man, I've had people that told me they were into, certain practices and were and said I'm the one pandering, and dude, and I don't even put clickbaity titles when it comes to spiritual stuff. I love it, dude, and that's the one reason. Oh, I'm getting chills and a fire in my heart. That's the one reason I love it, and I try to give y'all the real, because look at that Max Igan interview, bro. I manifested that. Somebody sent that to me, and I said I want to talk to him because I know in essence we're brothers. I said I just want a conversation. That's it. And look at, and I still had people in the comments asking like, oh, well, why didn't you ask him that? Why didn't you, bro? Because in what's real is he was talking about concepts on his Rumble that I'm not going to bring here because I want this video kind of at the front of my page a little bit. I always say that with videos, I'm going to put it at the front of the page and then I don't. But in that video, there wasn't really many concepts to talk about because y'all got to realize reality is much simpler than you think. It's been something that is complex in how twisted it's become because of the beings we've let get into power, and people don't recognize their own power and their oneness with God. But and then the system is so distorted that you got families and friends fighting in their own micro universes rather than really being about unity and being about unconditional love. You got people fighting in their own systems because somebody stole stole their shoes, somebody didn't pay rent, somebody didn't do, like, so blinded by what's going on. It's so much bigger than this realm, dude. And that's why it's like people who awaken aren't gonna, you know, like they're gonna be, what is the saying, far and few between. There's like not one video on my channel, 2,000 videos, I even say that. I think I said it maybe one other. Few and far between. I think that's a saying. I love hearing that saying, and I don't use it, and I'm gonna use it right now, but it truly is. And people didn't get it. There was nothing to ask him. There was really nothing to ask him, because what was I really gonna ask him? That's why I said, I even told him it's just gonna be a conversation, because look, because at the end of the day, it's simple, bro. You awakened here. There's no manual, there's no pamphlet on what to do. And the thing is I love this. There's no manual to how you're going to live and be. Like, you know how they say it was written? That's for real. The manual to your life is within you. You can't look to anyone on the external for anything. You know, parents try to do their best. Everyone tries to do their best with the best keys that they can give their kids at the time. It's all love at the end of the day. But no one spawns in here with the manual unless you're talking about the manual within your heart and what your heart pulls you to do. And that's it. And that's really it. No one has a manual. So it's very funny to see beings fighting over each other, of beings that didn't have a manual. Like, they're just trying to figure out, just like you. And that's why I say, just be you, man. Don't succumb to this system. Don't succumb to this system. Please don't succumb to this system. You know? And find me on the other side if you make it out. Truthfully, man, we talk about, like, I guess I'm gonna get a little bit spiritual again, whatever, because I can't really separate it from my being, because it's just who I am. But we talk about reincarnation and all this, and I'm like, you don't even realize, like, it could be whatever you call it. It could be a school, or it could be a prison. But Earth is hands down a place that you're supposed to transcend. Let me tell you right now, it is hands down a place you're supposed to transcend. And it is. It's a hands down. It's a place you're supposed to transcend. Like, no, I'm not trying to. If I'm trying to experience love here, then it's the love I have for myself. I want to love someone and be with someone who can sit in the silence. You accept all their flaws. You be with them. That's unconditional love. That's unconditional. Because you understand we're in a system, like, the truest and most unconditional love is going to be by yourself. But if it reflects on the external, by being you, you're going to, like, if you attract someone who's of that equal frequency, first you got to give that love to yourself. But it's going to look like that, man. It's going to be loving every single flaw, loving every single thing about them. Like, it is. Be like the flaws, ups and downs, the willing to grow. Man, you got to be you. I know I'm going into love and sort of a different concept, but I'm going to save that for my pure energy video. But it's love, dude. But I'm serious, man. It's like, I just think about the things of this world, and some of it is just too low. Like, love it all, but don't be attached to it, because it's all love. All the stuff was created from love. You know, it really was. Or just, you know, some beings wanted to play around on a playground. This is something I used to say, I think back when I was 20 years old. I said, Earth, I was with the bros. We were looking up at the moon. I think we went to a Chinese restaurant place. I remember walking with them, and I remember saying, like, these were our own keys when we really, because we were going through it so much that we couldn't even be online. Like, I'm telling y'all, that's how crazy an awakening is. I couldn't even consume, like, there was no spiritual concept or content I was consuming at the time. I was going through a very real raw experience with the bros of all of this stuff shedding off. But one thing we used to say back then, and I think is a good way to close out the video also with the shout out, is Earth is a playground. It is most certainly a playground. Like, I don't care how anyone else looks at it. It's a playground where all the beings are children, but they age here. And some adults just become literally grown babies or grown adults. You see how some of the adult avatars be acting in this system. And it's a playground. It's a playground for beings. Some beings wanted to go over here, put on the boss name tag, play boss. Some beings wanted to go over here, play millionaires. They're playing millionaires. Some beings wanted to go over here, do this, do that. Some beings wanted to be firefighters. Some beings wanted to be architects. Some beings wanted to be chefs. Some beings wanted to be YouTubers. Some beings want to blah, blah, blah. They wanted to create. But see, then here's the thing. Now where the system got mass multiplied and turned into like a matrix level siphoning event is now you've got clones of like everyone. Can't even tell who the original anymore. Who genuinely wants to have a TikTok? Who genuinely wants to be a creator? Not even to call yourself a YouTube creator. It's like a lot of the, the genuine stuff. You got to kind of have more discernment to even see who's really about the honesty and being with, what they say they want to do, and didn't just see someone else and want to just make a lot of money off it, or, drop ship, or money. Like, the true wealth is going to be your soul. Like, and I'm not saying don't do any of this stuff or anything. I always want to make that a point when I say that stuff is I'm not trying to talk like I'm above or I'm higher than any of it. I'm higher than it for me. Like, I know money is never gonna, cause like I said, I lost a large amount of money, and it was in thinking that I was super smart. Like, literally was not materialistic, but I gave, which is funny. Another thing that I gotta shout out the album from B.O.B. He said it in the song Black Phillip, man. You're doing it to yourself. Like, hold on to some self for yourself. Like, shit. I love that part of the song where he expressed that, because that felt like me, because I was like, damn, yeah, like that was one of the moments where I let it go and didn't regret it, but also like a little bit of the regret that did come up for me during that time was, damn, should I just have been selfish when I manifested that? Like, I'm telling y'all, these are like the thoughts you go through when you're awakened, bro, because you don't even know what you be seeing. But then you do understand too that you can find the lesson in everything. And for me, that lesson, there were so many lessons from that point in time, and everything I did during that time with the money that I had back then at the time, that made me so much of a different, like, just, I don't want to say a different being, because I'm the same being now, but just like, okay, now I just won't do that again, or I just won't do this again. But it's not like huge emotional shifts, because it wasn't even a huge emotional shift when I lost it. I just said, okay, so this money revealed a lot to me. Time speeds up because time is illusion, and freaking it shows who's gonna be there for you when you have money to do stuff and do stuff for them. But then as soon as the money is gone, they're gonna go like look right back at you like you can't support yourself, or you don't want to do stuff, or you don't want to, bro. Everything was revealed, and I was wow. And I thought to myself, and I'm not gonna lie, you want to know one of the low thoughts that I got when I started like evolving at such a fast rate for my own life, was that when I get that money again, watch how selfish I'm about to be. Oh, I'm gonna be a villain. And I say that because you realize you're the good guy, you're the hero, you're the villain, you're the director, you're everything, you're the true, like, it's you. You're reversing yourself. And that's also a joke. Like, I'm not gonna be selfish. I'm gonna be the same. I'm just gonna be smarter with how I give out money if I ever do again. But it's just like I'm gonna move for myself. Like, I'm going to make sure everything is genuinely myself. Like, and I knew, because so many times my intuition, and I was just ahead of myself. Like, that's the thing. I didn't trust myself. That's why I say it's self. Like, I can tell. This is why I tell y'all to just be you, man. There's so much I went through that is like, dude, I love that I can share these experiences now. And I think that's primarily why I went through them. It's like, if like, just when you are leveling up and you're just doing numbers for yourself, and numbers means like you're doing numbers, not in terms of actual numbers, money, or anything to do with that. But when you're doing numbers for your soul, undressing the conditions, getting back to the true you, getting to the true authentic self to you, and you start, like, that is your sanctuary. Within you is your sanctuary. Do not, and this isn't bad, like, this is what I'm saying, is like, they'll be stopped at the doors anyways. Do not let people who did not do the work into the inner sanctum. And be very wary of people who speak in certain dimensions. Because people can say, I unconditionally love you, and then still pepper spray you. Still do certain things. Like, I'm telling you, like, I've gone through it. And if anyone can resonate with this video and just take things from it, I'm like, be you, please. Be you. Anyways, I knew this was going to be a long video because it was wrapping up and tying in all these videos. But essentially, just awakening is just this, man. You're going to elevate this. You're going to be different. Like, you're going to be different. And it just comes with the territory. But one thing I can for certainly say is when you awaken, man, just don't go so into information overload and take in so many concepts and spiritual concepts, because your spirit from the beginning, the books and everything could be a good guide, but then one day you're going to have to go within yourself. You can't just keep reading books forever. You have to apply the knowledge. So go within your inner sanctum, do it, close the sanctuary doors to anyone who is not doing the work. I'm serious. Like, and the thing is like, you're not genuinely doing it. Like, you can still help, because I still do that. That's the unconditional love part. Of course, the person who pepper sprayed me, I tried to teach some manifestation. They didn't listen to me one bit. They still thought I was attacking them and attacking their life. I met a girl completely fresh in my life. So cool. She said I give her a lot of pick-me-ups. I taught her manifestation, and I didn't teach her because you're just manifestation. But I shown her how to do it if she wanted a new job. This motherfucker pulled it off in 3 to 5 days. So that goes back to the whole thing. If you're not valued here, go to where you're valued. But funny enough, with that saying, that value should be going within, and then attract the people that are really about to be for you. Because that's it. That's just what I had to realize. Like, things in my life had to shed away, and everyone played their role accordingly. Like, that's it. It's no bad blood. It's no hate towards anyone I speak about. It's no, this is unconditional love, and I'm just being real. Your life is going to fall apart during a real awakening. And I feel like that's the one thing that a lot of people who have these channels or awakening, they just want to focus on the golden light, manifest this, do this, do this, do this. And no, you have to be you. Be so unapologetically you that you tap into your power, because the you that's trying to grab these concepts and manifest and stuff, they're not doing it because you're trying to put manifestation on the being that needs to go away to manifest better. You need to dissolve this person that has low self-esteem, or low this, low that, low whatever, low blah blah blah, low emotions, negativity, blah, blah, blah. Like, you've got to dissolve that you. Dissolve that, because that's not even you. That's the you walked out into to feel those things to get back to you. As one brother would say, those are your tools. When you get those negative thoughts, man, wrestle with that. Grab those thoughts, fight that, because that's where you need to work. And I'm not saying fight, because some people say, oh, don't fight the thoughts that you have in this, and some thoughts aren't. Don't worry, I've talked on that too. But no, you need to wrestle the thoughts. You need to wrestle and tumble with the thoughts that make you think you're less than, you're not worthy, you're not this. Like, you need to do the inner work. People call it shadow work. People call it this. People call it that. I don't even care what the name is anymore. I just sum it up as it's you versus you. It's you versus you. When you versus you, you'll notice things start to come in your life. You know why? Because manifestation is always happening. You know? And when you're not feeling fulfilled by this world, that is the sign you're on the brink of awakening, if you're someone like that, because that's what it was for me. I wasn't fulfilled, man. It's, relationships falling apart. Friendships didn't feel real. The food doesn't feel real. None of this feels real. None of it. And then boom, that's when Source opened up to me, and I heard it in a voice, man. I was sitting one night. Well, there's multiple times. I don't want to give all my experiences, because some of them are sacred, but there was one night I want to tell y'all when I heard Source, which some people be like, don't trust people that say Source or God speaks. Bro, yes it does. You like when people be like, there is a dude like, oh my gosh, the misinformation that's out there. That's why I say find out for yourself. Find out for yourself. That's the vibe for this video. Find out for yourself. Go ahead, find out for yourself. But one night I was sitting there, 100 subscribers on Lunar Was Lost. I'm sitting there, and this is one of the times I had to commune, bro. And I'm telling you, I had a crazy dream one of these nights where these tall beings were standing over me with these staffs, and I'm getting chills even telling the story because I don't tell this story that often. But because I've had wild dreams. There's stuff I'm doing in other realms that just can't. I understand my being now, but dude, I had a dream where these beings that were like an African like clothing and stuff were standing over me, and my ceiling turned into stars. But there was one night I was sitting at my computer nodding off, and I had my hand on my head, and I was just like kind of nodding off, and I said, man, like I said, I get manifestation, I get all these things are coming. But I was like, really, even though during my awakening, I kind of found out and I got the name, but I didn't follow it too much because there was a lot of fear of what was happening when I first awakened. I asked this one day, I said, who is God? Who is like, what is going on? Like, what is the creator? Like, I need to know, because I was just sitting there just kind of stressing this one night, stressing it. And all I heard in this booming voice, when I said, who is God? It went, Jarrell. It said my name, and it was like, you, and it shook me awake. I said, what the fuck was that? And I can never go back. I can't go back after and the thing is I didn't take that message so serious over these years to stand on that. And it's not narcissistic. It's not like all these terms. That too, I don't like how so many terms become weaponized against people. I don't even like how astrology has become weaponized. Like, see, these are the things I don't even talk about in the videos. And this is why even when I talk to certain people, I hold my tongue a little bit before I go to actually speak, because I throw stuff out to see where they're at, because I don't want them to feel like I'm attacking them. But true awakened people will not feel attacked, bro, because we're awakened, bro. We know this is a game. So how can you get offended at a game? How can a god get offended at anything, really? But stuff still, be trying to pull you back. But I think about that night, and that's why I try to tell people it's within you. Because I was sitting there, I was in that state that they talk about, the drift. I was nodding off in there. It was, everything felt dreamlike. I didn't know if I was hallucinating, and boom. And then I put my head down after I said that statement, got the answer immediately. It was like a booming voice that said it was me. And I've heard some people talk about they got pulled into a mirror. God pointed them in the mirror to show them where God was, man. And that was it for me, bro. And it did not feel like, see, and this is what's funny, is one thing is, if you want to, doubt my experience, it's my experience. So, you're free to do what you want. You wrote a character that can even doubt the existence of God or people, by the way, because you're programming your own mind. Because your mind is the gateway to open it up, and your heart. But listen to this. If people doubt my story, here's what I want to say to you. Because some people will say, nah, that's like the devil that visited you or something. Here's what I want to tell you. When I felt that, I almost cried. It was full unconditional love. It felt like I was protected. I wasn't going to be stopped. It didn't matter what happened. And look, it come to this day, I am. And that, they say, those are the two strongest words. I am. Like, I am. Come on now, I am. I felt everything. Go ahead and do what you want. It does not matter to me. Go ahead and say that's the devil. Say whatever you want. Because to me, that was love that this world cannot provide. When everyone says that the devil is the materialistic stuff, or the thing that pulls you back, or I can give you all this wealth and fame. That's not what it felt like. Because even at the beginning of my channel, so when that happened, I had like 100 subscribers. The whole intent for my channel was to get people to feel this awakening too. within themselves. But again, I've made videos like you can't lead a horse to water and make it drink. But truth is yeah, man, I want to experience that world more, but I know it's the fear of God, the fear of myself that stops me from going back into it all the time. And that's why I tap into my powers here and there of like sight and vision and things like that. And that's why I just say I got to trust myself, but I will never. And I'm even kind of getting tears now saying this to y'all, because it's like there have been like, y'all don't like, I want to bring it up as like people. I'm not trying to say like, because I know these tears aren't for the people who are like faking awakening or giving you trending spirituality. But I mean, there are real people out here going through these awakenings that are, you know, some of their stories don't get heard or told, where they're having experiences like this. And then it's like, you know, you just see people putting these experiences online that it almost feels like this discernment or this, it just feels or looks different, man. You know what I'm talking about. I've been with people that told me like they ride by God and all this, and it feels different from what I went through. Like not discrediting anyone's situation. I'm trying to say like you'll feel like it feels like I feel fear behind what they say, because then these same people that talk about they'll ride for God will go, and I'm not saying you can't do this, but it's a clear telltale sign to be aware of that. They'll complain about bills or about how they're not finding love or certain things in their life that is so contradictory to being like you walk with God. You know what I'm saying? Because I genuinely feel this center in my heart that nothing on this external world can make me and can fulfill me. But what I felt there was like something outside the world. That's all I can describe it as. And I know it's me, but I'm trying to tell y'all, like, that's why it feels so twisted when I hear certain people. I've had people in my life try to say to certain people who were involved with me that God puts them around certain people that may just stifle their gifts. I've had that said to me, and that's why I tell y'all to be you. I had someone who had a friend tell them that God doesn't put you in situations for no reason. Don't worry, that environment where your gifts are being held back by certain people. I said, wow, like this was being said about me, when all I preach is for you to go for yourself, because I'm about it. I'm about it. And you might not get this rawness from other creators. That's why I got to do it, because this is me. This is me. I got to give y'all the raw. I got to come and give y'all the raw. You're gods. I'm not going to lie to y'all. You're gods. It's in you. I don't care how weird I sound. I don't care. I have had people try to demolish my character, and I don't care, because I'm not the character. You're looking at the surface level avatar that I built. Nah, but that inner sanctum, that's the stuff that's blasphemy, which is so funny. And it's okay, because it's part of the process. You got people running around here saying they're about God and all this stuff. And when a real being from the other side that awakens to that stuff, the you and me, the real people that awaken, they feel attacked. And man, a brother said this in a video, and I think I just want to play the video, and I'm gonna end this video and play his video at the end of this video and just show you what he was saying, because it's so true, man. When you're awakened, they will come for you thinking they're doing God a service. And no matter what, you stay true to you. You be you drop those gems. But when you truly awaken, they will think they're doing God a service by taking you out. And just remember that. And after this, I'm signing it. Boom, I'm done. This is the awakening series is finished. I'm not talking about this stuff anymore on this channel. I'm just gonna have fun with being here and making the videos that are fun for me. I'm gonna enjoy my time, but I want this video to sum up my experience and put it all together for y'all in a video. I went through that, man. I went through it, bro. I had an awakening where everything fell apart. I seen people with no faces, everything, and I'll talk about it more in videos, but this realm is not what you think it looks like, bro. It's a real crazy place. It is an absolutely flabbergasting place. But when you do the alchemy to kind of bring it back and chill it out a little bit, you understand what it was. But I'm gonna put this video from a brother who puts it into words perfectly. And I want to give a shout out to BOB for space time. I want to give a shout out to any being that took the time to just give me some sort of guidance along my journey, the really awakened beings. This is why I always honor BOB for the God that he is, because he took a chance on me multiple times, sharing my memes, making me feel like seen, gave me that DM that absolutely changed my experience and allowed me to manifest in different ways, man. After I knew like truly that it was me versus me and the enemy was truly me, and focus on what's in my mind and don't like control my emotions, don't let my emotions control me, man. I don't even think he knows to this day how much of an honor that shit was, because I went ham, mac, and cheese. And over the years, I've had some stumbles here and there, but just like Muji said, stumble then, but do not stumble now. And I don't plan on stumbling now. So let me play the brother's video. At the point, I might just play the whole thing. Whatever, I'm done. I'm out of here. This is it. After this, I'll drop gems here and there, but I'm done. I'll do videos with people maybe, but I'm finished. I got to get back to me, and I got to get back to creation. And I do realize I love doing this, and this is naturally me, but it becomes a hindrance at times because there's so many concepts that I want to talk about in these videos that I know that YouTube wouldn't allow. But also, man, I got called pandering for that. It's so funny, dude. I got told by someone who was on their spiritual journey that I should get back into alignment. I've heard it all, dude, and I laugh because it's all love. It's funny to me. I take no thought in it. I'm just like, all right, like throw me down with the bus too. If I need to get back in alignment, then you need to get back in alignment. Throw me under the bus with it, bro, because we all walked out into this consciousness to play, to have this little play. But all right, man, let me drop this end part of this video. Be yourself, bro. Be your true self, though. Nothing in this world can make you. No one can define you. You are gods and goddesses, sons. Psalms 82-6, sons and daughters of the Most High. I said, ye are gods, but you shall die like men. Do not die like men. Do not die in your sins. Manifest destiny, and let's go. Much love and Moonlight. Much love and Moonlight. Let's go.
There will come a time where people will try to take out the real awakening because it's on YouTube. It's just everybody awake. It's going to come a time. This just ain't a Bible scripture. I know this. There will come a time. Brace yourself when people will actually take out the ones who actually awakening, thinking they're doing source a favor. It says that in your Bible, but the people reading don't know it applies to them. But it's all love. It's all good. There will come a time where people will attack you thinking they're doing source a favor. That's why I was like, would you help a person even if they know you was helping them? Like, yes. Like, look at them scriptures. They're deep. Like, let the dead bury their dead. If you look back into that frequency, you're not worthy of the Christ consciousness, because the conditional frequency is not of the Christ consciousness. What does it being mean? If it's not a sword, what we're going to do? If we turn what Christ consciousness is into this consciousness, where are you going if you put water in your gas? If somebody don't stretch you out and speak over your head, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? If we say what's already here, where are you going? Well, let's keep this mindset, but smooth it over with a little. And there's nothing wrong with speaking mantras, nothing wrong with meditating. I'm just speaking the end of it. Is what I came back to speak. Like, I already knew it. Like, they're going to perceive you. I see you look like this. They're not going to perceive you like this. You know, the perception of this is like that. They're going to think you're saying this, or they're going to think, I was like, I already know. You can feel it. It's going to feel like you're a threat to the people that's saying it like this, but this is this. You understand they're only perceiving that because they're saying this. They're only hurt. They're just wanting to grab it like this for a reason. Who wouldn't grab it once they found out? But it's not a matter of finding out who you are on top of who you're not versus how it is opening your heart to be sensitive to who you're not, taking that off to just reveal who you are. Nobody can tell you how to do that. Nobody. It's free. Nobody can show you that. It's free. It's a game of the heart. It's like beings living out of their heart. Even the one that you think is you never know who you're talking to. We live in a dimensional consciousness, yet people are scared to death when you talk past the world. They're scared to death, yet they know it's temporary. But when you start, because we're so used to just quoting it like unconditional love, the unconditional love, like go just talk. You know what? The world equals the conditions, though. When I talk past the world, why get scared? See, it's different from quoting the mantra and having the mind of Christ that actually speaks of the dissolving of the mantra. The mind of unconditional love is the mind before the foundation of the world. See, even though the Christian will tell me, see, it's no such thing as a Christian, but I'm using this as a pointer. They'll say, well, we're this before the foundation of the world. Guess what? When I say you were before the body just grows up, does this, does that, but you were before mother's love. Am I not saying the same thing? I'm saying love everybody, not just the mother. I'm speaking before the foundation of the world. It's now sounding like a foreign language. So now I could tell that they're just quoting it. There's a difference in quoting the mantra and knowing it. There's a difference from knowing and walking. That's what I'm speaking about when I say there's no such thing as what we've calibrated our energy to. Before they created this, we were just unconditional. Before we created that, before we picked up, that's what I'm saying. I'm speaking of who we were before the foundation of this world. They think because I'm using the earth stuff, I'm speaking about it. I'm speaking past it. Speaking past it. I'm breaking it up is what I call it. I'm breaking it up. That's how I'll be like, well, like I always tell you, like I'm saying, they'll be like with unconditional love. I'll be like, I know. Like in the resurrection, they wasn't even, well, what does that mean, the resurrection? Well, this is who we are. We woke up when we ate from these concepts. Now we look from it. To get back to this, it has to be a spiritual death. When there's a spiritual death, you're born again because you left this consciousness and was born into this world. Now you must be born again. That means that must be a spiritual death, and that's the resurrection. What I speak of is of the resurrection before you had to have patience, before you had to have this, before you had to meditate. You left this, was born into that, took on the concepts. Now you have to meditate. I speak of taking this mind off to return to the resurrection consciousness. I do speak of unconditional love. I do speak from the other place, the other side. People just don't get what I'm saying. But it's the people that's quoting it that's like, get him out of here. He doesn't know what he's saying. I'm speaking about it. I just understand it, though. This is why I'm breaking it down like that. That is the other side. You're not really meditating. All you're doing is sitting still. You're not doing no spiritual practice. You're just sitting still away from what we created. That's all you're doing. You could have called meditation Christianity and Christianity meditation. Your body wasn't going to know the difference. If you call meditation Christianity and then you went in the room and did the Christianity for 5 minutes, all your body was just going to say, man, I'm sitting away from this concept. And it was going to go closer to feeling that unconditional energy. The words are nothing. This is why I said I understand when people say love is this. Don't use the word love. So I just say this. I get when they say the word love is limited. I experience the unlimited self. So when you hear me say the word love, that's what I'm speaking about. We have to have pointers. I like to do it like that for a reason, though. But but that is speaking from the other side. The Christ consciousness. I don't see. I'm gonna say this. The Christ consciousness is not a word. It's an actual consciousness. It's what you're conscious of. It's you being conscious of who you were before you had to do anything. The fact that the mouth can just say Christ consciousness, it could say get him out of here. It could say it's gonna make everybody think, okay, he's wrong. Christ consciousness is zero. It's nothing. Like it's nothing. It's zero. It's the speaking of the zeroness. That people just say zero. I speak the only way to say zero. All right. This is how I said it at first. And I asked you guys one. I bought another tablet. Now I'm gonna have to buy another tablet. Because I be filling the tablet up so quick. But I asked people what is that. Some people said zero, some people said one. Once you draw something on the paper, it equals one because it's one object on the paper. You cannot express zero. I know that. So people say there's no need for words. See, so what I do, they don't get what I'm doing. See, once you speak, you leave the nothingness, but the program is already running. The program already left the nothingness. So you don't just say I'm nothing by being quiet, because the program that left the nothingness is always running. What I do, I actually talk to the program and give you the realizations to dissolve it. Once you dissolve, because there's a program of saying just be. There's a program of saying I am nothing. There's a program of saying that is, which equals a 1. So what I do, since, all right, if we're going to talk, let me actually dissolve the program. If we're going to use words, let's use words to dissolve what we're running. When we keep dissolving that, nothing will be running. So I'm not saying anything. All I'm doing is reversing everything we already said. Everything that could be reversed is already being said. You don't have to say it. When you wake up in the morning, do you have to learn the English language all over again and the meanings? No, because it's already being said. You just need somebody to say something to you so you can engage in it. So you don't sit in the engagement, the idle engagement, and just say, I'm 0. You don't say you're 0. It doesn't exist. When what you're running doesn't exist, you're 0. So I'm gonna talk about the program. I'm gonna say, man, this is what we did. Have you ever thought about what we did when I'm actually breaking up the programming? Have you ever pondered, because your mind is like an internet, it connects to source just like it connected to this being. It connects to source. I'm disengaging your connection. I'm disengaging your connection. That I'm speaking of. So that's why I say people think of it as a threat, because you're not the body, you're energy. I'm speaking of the disconnecting of the energy, and people like, get him out of here. They're debating me with the mind they already have. I promise you this. If you keep the same mind, you're going to keep the same frequency. I'm going to tell you that. If you keep the same mind, you're going to have the same frequency. Let me go, because I don't want this video to be too long, because I want to leave it up. But I didn't mean for it to go this long. I'll come back, but I'm gonna stop this stream.